find suitable for the moment I'm facing, that there should not be a categorized for the student as EU and non-EU. So when I have applied for the MSc, I have seen the category. So I did not think much about it. But when I am entering into the education and the Europe and all, so I can sense the diversity and the like. It's too harsh for a non-EU citizen to get a job and to complete her study because we both are students. So why this category? As because of the place of birth you are holding, as you are born in Europe, you will get the SU and all, and you will get the free education. And as because I'm not at I not born in Europe, I will not get any SU, and I'll have to pay for example, my tuition fees is 8,400 euro per semester, which is way much huge. I have to pay every 6 months. Whereas my friends from EU are sitting and chilling back and enjoying their social life, and they can study properly, they can focus on their social life, they maintain a they get everything they want. And we are struggling to find a job. Whenever we are going to a job, they say, no, no, you don't know Danish, so we can give you a job. So how can we blossom if we don't get any chance? So why did you put us there? So if you don't get any chance to us, so this is a question to them. So why they categorize this? If we are a student, student should be considered as a student only. Is not should be a product by EU and non-EU, as because of the place of birth. I don't think this is fair enough. This is totally injustice to the student, to the educations. Like what we learn to the education is this, it's same for the all. We learn the equality, and in education we are diversing the two category, and we are discriminating. So it's not justice, right? It's not justice for the people like us who wants to study and get settled in a higher country and get salaries and financial family and all. So I think this should not be done with the place of birth, should not be a concern. Rather than it should be we should consider the education that should be free, at least equal for all.
So I believe that AI should be regulated in the way that people should be transparent about whether they're using AI or not. A good example is the AI experience advertising that we've seen. If you've heard of the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the Bridgerton experience, whereas they advertise these grandiose pictures of come have fun at our event, pay $100, pay $500 to come have a VIP experience for the Bridgerton event. And that one was like, oh yeah, there's going to be this great flower wall. Look at these swirly lollipops at the Wonka experience. But then people get there and it's just, oh, a little backdrop. They didn't have to build anything. Thus, they had nothing to really advertise. They really oversold people on this fake product, essentially. And because not everyone, especially like, say, very old parents or something or grandparents, they're going to see that AI advertising and they're like, yeah, this should be good, this should be all right. No, unfortunately, it would be better if it's like, hey, just so you know, these images are generated, they're not an actuality of what you're going to get, and it may change depending on it. I'm not saying that we shouldn't use AI generated things at all, because there are good uses for them, but you should be transparent whether this thing was actually created by a person, whether this was created by a generated technology. I also have a stance on, well, I also believe that if there's an art or, say, a photo shoot for a product like modeling and all that stuff, they're like, oh, these models are actually AI generated, so that people aren't like, whoa, that woman looks like this. Like, I look nothing like that. How am I supposed to compete? And it's like, oh no, this is a computer generated thing. They're supposed to look perfect, or should they're shaped to look a certain way with the clothing. Oh, maybe the clothes don't actually look this way. It's or maybe even you buy a CD from an artist. That was a big controversy with a rock band out in Germany, where their cover art was all made by AI. Their visualizers at the concert were all AI. And it was like, oh, well, I didn't really want to enjoy that. There's some people that really just, I want to support artists that actually make their own graphics. They make their own visualizers. I want to know whether I'm supporting a group or a company that is only going to use AI generated labor versus people that actually put in their creativity and their own ideas into something and it actually has meaning. Maybe they borrowed concepts from other cultures and it's this company has appropriated it, not an actual person who has a living experience with the kind of art that they're representing.
Maybe it's gonna sounds pretty obvious for everyone, but I think like we need to make this culture of being clear about what are our intentions are from the very beginning. It doesn't matter if it's like girls or guys, men or women, because I recently faced a lot of situation when people are appearing in my life without any clear explaining of what are their goal in my life, and then they're easily disappearing from my life. So I think that when it comes to relationship dates and seeing each other, it's very important to understand what exactly you want from this person, because we might be on the different phases of our life. But for example, it doesn't mean that if I'm right now in the not looking for something serious, that mean I am not interested in you at all. If you are, for example, right now in your let's have fun phase, it's just important to hear the hey, I am here right now in your life, and my goal is this short or this long. How are you? How do you think? What do you think about this and stuff? I feel like it may sound pretty obvious. That's how it should be, like in a healthy relationships and a healthy dating culture. But it appears to be just people popping up in each other life without being clear of what exactly we want. We are opening up to each other, and then at some point we are asking ourselves, like, why did I open up to the person? Because he just disappeared then at some point, so it was like wasting my time. Because if, for example, I knew that, hey, you told me that you are here for just some fun, yeah, I take it because I'm fine with it at the moment, and I don't expect to like open up too much. If you're saying right away, hey, I'll be interested in looking at you at like more than just term a short term fun.
The claim that I would like to talk about is I personally don't believe that a relationship is 50-50. There was until a time I used to believe that okay, a relationship is all about 50-50. It can be bills and every other thing. But now I do not believe it at all. There are, of course, logical reasons behind it. First of all, this is not a business deal. When you do 50-50, it turns into a business deal, and business deal cannot be the same as a relationship. When it comes to a relationship, it takes a lot in terms of compromise for each person. But when it comes to business deal, you can just break it off anytime and just go back to, previous state. But I think when it comes to relationship, our emotion gets more attached to the other person. Also, we invest our time, and in today's world, time is the most precious resource, I would say. So when you are doing this, you cannot just say, okay, I would be. It's nothing like, okay, I am doing this. If I do this, you have to do this. It's nothing conditioned. We say we put conditions on each other, but in reality, it's never like that. And besides, I think relationship requires love, and love can never be 50-50. You can never say, I love you, this reasons, because of these reasons, and now you have to love me back. You cannot really force a person to love you. So it's never 50-50. Third reason is, sorry to say this, but in my experience, most of the men think 50-50 only counts in terms of financial matters. When it comes to splitting the bill, then they become all feminist. Okay, I respect women, so I would let you pay the bill, but when it comes to taking the responsibility, they just forget. Okay, it was 50-50. They are like, okay, I'm the man, I'm gonna make the decisions, you don't matter. That's the time they don't remember it was a 50-50 relationship. I think it's a bit hypocritical. So I would say it's never 50-50. It's all about making compromises, understanding each other, and yeah, cutting some slack for your partner. It it never should be something forced on yourself either. It should be, I'm doing this because I love the person, and that should be good enough. There shouldn't be any more reasons behind it. Yeah, love should be enough. Love should be the main reason to be with someone for a longer period.
Okay, this is going to be a very sensitive topic, but I believe that it should be recognized internationally that female circumcision is banned. For one, the abject horror of the entire process where it's female circumcision, it's where for women, where they cut the clitoris and then sew up the labia, all those parts. For one, that abject horror of it's rooted in misogynistic practices where it's about control a lot of the times, and it happens at various ages. So just thinking of the traumatizing range from either you're growing up that way or you're suddenly just put into that position when you reach puberty, depending where you're from. Another thing is that the physical harm that it does involves you are prone to UTIs, which I've struggled with chronic UTIs when I was younger. I know that there has been points where it's like, oh, it hurts so much, it happens so much that I might want to die because of them. Like, so the kind of issues that can happen, not only infection that does lead to probably gangrene in certain parts, depending where you're getting it done, but the way that it doesn't heal also could, I mean, it very much so affects the sexual life and health of any woman. And usually it leads to not only they don't get to enjoy that part of their life at all, but maybe it prohibits them from actually even pursuing relationships, even if it's non-sexual, because of the way that they know that they have restrictions around that, or they're not comfortable about their bodies around that.